Shazam. Director David F. Sandberg has asked fans to wait and see a trailer before they judge the film. The DC Films universe may have gotten off to something of a rocky start, but one thing has to be admitted: Warner Brothers is willing to take a risk. Perhaps the most unusual superhero project on their slate is Shazam, a film that stars Asher Angel and Zachary Levi as young Billy Batson and his alter ego, Shazam. It's the story of a teenager who can invoke a magic word and transform into a superhuman powerhouse. Although the character has his fans, director Sandberg has found himself fielding a lot of criticism. He's taken to Twitter to warn fans against assuming what the film will be like with such little information to go on so early in the process. Not to stop you from having an opinion about something that doesn't exist yet, it's the internet after all. But as I designate a movie the obligatory best/worst ever, I find it helpful sometimes to have more info than a few character names. https://t.co/jqdzg7mbbn, David F. Sandberg, at Pony Smasher, January 1, 2018. Sandberg's tweet was in response to a claim that the movie would be inspired by DC's New 52 version of the character. Critical fan had gone so far as to suggest people steer clear of this movie till the Tsu gets a reboot. It's true that recent casting announcements have suggested Sandberg will draw on the New 52 for some plot threads and character dynamics. Ian Chan and Jovan Armand have joined the movie as Billy's friends Eugene and Pedro, while it's believed Faith Herman has been cast as another of his friends, Darla. All three characters were introduced in the New 52, so the fans' assumption is vaguely understandable. It's also an unwise assumption to make. Shazam, better known to fans as Captain Marvel, was created back in 1939. Most superhero films draw inspiration from a character's entire run, and it's likely Shazam will be no different. Sandberg may have used some characters from the New 52 era, but that doesn't mean he hasn't also drawn ideas from other runs, too. The reality is that not much is known about Shazam. Right now, the movie hasn't even started filming yet, although Levi has just headed out to Toronto to begin work on it. No plot details have leaked. No casting calls have been released, and previous DC films haven't contained any teasers or setup for the film. It's far too soon to judge this movie, let alone to believe fans know what comics have inspired it. In a further tweet, Sandberg suggested we should really wait before we judge this movie. Sometimes, he noted, I'll even wait for a trailer of some sort if I really want to go crazy. The DC Films universe has had a troubled past so far, but nobody in Warner Brothers actually wants to make what Sandberg calls the worst ever. Shazam has been given the green light because the studio genuinely believe this superhero, whose comics were once more popular than Superman's, can shine on the big screen. It's far too early to say whether or not they're right, and fans would be wise to reserve judgment. Source: David F. Sandberg.